Hey everyone, it's Katelyn. My friend Michelle reminded me that there's a lot of you on here that I've only known for the last couple of years, and she said she's had people asking her what I do, why I'm out on the boat sometimes in the middle of the day. And so I wanted to jump on here and give you a little bit of my background about what I do, but more importantly, some lessons on being resilient that I've learned through some of my career transitions. And I'm gonna end with 3 things that I think are really important to help anyone who is feeling stuck or feeling like they need to make a change in their life, or maybe just went through something really difficult, especially in how it applies to careers. So first off, thank you to anyone who has taken any kind of interest in my life or career. I'm completely flattered by that and humbled. So thank you. Thank you for your time and all the support you guys give me on Facebook. I always appreciate that so much. So what I do is I do online health and fitness coaching. So the reason you sometimes see me out in the middle of the day is because it is online, and I coach through a company that creates fitness programs that people can do at home, nutrition programs that fit with any schedule. So my job is to find programs for people that are interested in health and fitness programs and help them stick with it. So really I'm on more of the motivational side of things, which is what I absolutely love. So because of that, my schedule is really super flexible. What you might not see on social media is that I am working pretty constantly, sometimes in the evenings, a lot of times on the weekends, but the way I coach really fits into small blocks of time throughout the day. So that's why you see a lot of times me doing something fun in the middle of the day. I try to be really intentional with my downtime. I don't watch a lot of TV. If I have some downtime from work, I love to be outside, I love to be active, or I love to be connecting to the people that are really important in my life. So anyways, I got into that just on the side. I started it about 6 years ago just because I loved doing it. I loved the workout programs, and so being able to encourage others and share with others what I've learned about health and fitness was just so fulfilling and rewarding to me. So I started doing that when I was actually working as an engineer for a startup medical device company. So my background's in bioengineering, and I worked for 7 years at that startup company, which I loved. But as it turns out, I started coaching around the same time that I found out that our company might be closing or that the investors might be going in a different direction. So I built that business, the coaching business, up on the side. And then when my engineering company that I worked for closed in 2014, I transitioned into coaching full-time. So I've been doing it full-time for a little over 4 years now. So that's why you see me kind of all over the place, because my schedule really is all over the place, and I can kind of make it my own in that way, and I just really enjoy it. So most of my job is literally just interacting with clients, checking in with my current clients, sharing my workout tips, things that work for me, and so that's my normal day-to-day life. So one of the things that I think is really important for people to know is that there were 3 big things that I think really helped in that career transition, because one of the things that I think is not talked about a lot in our society is how stressful and emotional any kind of job transition can be, regardless of the circumstances. So for me, even though I loved what I was doing as a coach, and I was so excited when I got to be able to do it full time, I was also really sad to be losing this other job that I loved. And it was a very emotional time, and it was also a very stressful time when I was building up the coaching business and I didn't know what it could turn into. So one thing I learned for certain is that if you're ever at a point where you're wondering what your purpose is in life or what you really want to be doing to be fulfilled, clarity and intentionality is super important. So when I was working at my old engineering job, there was a point in that where I was really stressed out because I was doing a lot of international traveling, and I wanted to start to think about what I would do if I couldn't keep doing that because it got to be too stressful. And so I did a ton of journaling about what I love, what I'm passionate about, where I feel the most effective. And that was part of how coaching came about, because I was really in tune to what makes me me and what makes me tick and what excites me. And so when the coaching came around, it was an opportunity that I hadn't even known existed, and I was able to jump right on it because I already knew this fits so much with what I already love doing and I already do naturally. So that is the first thing, is to get really clear on what makes you tick, what excites you, and what makes you feel really fulfilled and inspired, and then to be really intentional about taking steps towards those things that make you happy, even if you don't know what it's going to turn into. The second are the people you're surrounding yourself with. And I know they always say it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And I disagree with that in the sense of getting a job, because I feel like if you're even a little bit more resourceful than the average person, you can find your way to get your foot in the door with any opportunity. But where the people matter is just in terms of bringing you to your highest level self. So the friends that I spend the most time with are the friends that are willing to ask me the tough questions, that are willing to challenge me, that are at a point in their life where I want to be. So I see that as a mentorship where I can grow to be more like them in certain areas of my life. The people I have really inspiring conversations with and push me more towards my dreams are so important. That's what keeps me going. When I was building up my coaching business, even after I had lost my full-time job, there were still points where I felt stressed about whether it could work in the long term. So you need people around you that are going to speak that encouragement and belief into you. And you also need people that are going to point out your strengths for you. And sometimes that really helps with the clarity aspect that I talked about in the first step. So just having those people that are going to raise your standards in a lot of ways are so important. And also, if you are in a position where you might be looking for a new job or change of careers, the more people you know, the more opportunities you're going to hear about. So your network is just so important. And the third thing is to just trust the process. So one thing, it's impossible not to worry when you're in a stressful situation or might be encountering career transitions. But I will say that I tried my hardest to not worry about it and not let it affect the growth of my business, my coaching business, because if I had let that worry take over, I might have changed my actions. I might have said, this isn't going to work out. I need to find a new job. I could have just let the worry overtake me. Whereas without putting so much worry on that and just kind of trusting that things are going to work out the way they're supposed to, if I'm following my heart and I'm following what makes me feel alive and excited, I just was so much happier in the process because of it. And I'm being very truthful that there were points that were still stressful and I had to constantly do checks on my mindset, but trusting that it would work out and trusting that the next step would be revealed along the way was so important to my quality of life at that time. And even now, even though I'm fully immersed in coaching and it's still something I see myself doing forever because I love it so much and I can love connecting with people so much, there are other ways I'm branching out from that. So I'm taking what I've learned in my health and fitness coaching and turning that to help some local startup companies tell their stories more effectively. So I'm taking how I've grown my business with health and fitness coaching and I'm applying it to different people and companies in Pittsburgh that I think are doing some really amazing things, and I want to help them share that excitement with the world. So again, that's just something that sort of fell into my path because I was already doing those things. I go to a lot of tech and networking events just because I love that. I love to see what's going on in Pittsburgh. I want the rest of the world to know how awesome Pittsburgh is right now and how many great people are doing great things here. So that's another opportunity that just kind of opened up because I was doing things that I loved and excited me. I'm also working on a project with 412 Food Rescue and the guys at Spare Change, and that's something that came about because I was promoting 412 Food Rescue and I love Spare Change and what they're doing, so I was promoting them, and that's a project that's going to form to hopefully really help this amazing nonprofit. So all these things are just from trusting that the next step is going to be revealed and doing what I love. So getting clarity on what you love, what makes you tick, surrounding yourself with people that are really going to help bring out the best in you and encourage you to go to the next level and help keep your mindset to where it needs to be, and then trusting that the process is all going to work out are three really big things that have helped me be resilient in points in my career where I could have taken the opportunity to also feel a little hopeless about the next step. So I hope that helps all of you. anything I talked about today, I have more elaborate stories on my YouTube channel, or feel free to talk to me if any of these things interest you or you want to know more about. But I just want to encourage you, keep going for your best. Keep following your heart. Do the things you love, even if it's just on the side, like how I started with the health and fitness coaching. And I promise it's going to take you to things that are more magical for your life than you could have ever imagined. So hope everybody has a great day. I'll see you guys soon.